Hello, so this is going to be a video all about the civil liberties discussion surrounding coronavirus, because this seems to be where you get a lot of the very strange conspiracy theories pop up that the reason people are under lockdown is not to stop them getting an infectious disease and spreading an infectious disease that will kill people, but instead it's just because for some reason it's the Illuminati want to keep everybody in their houses for some bizarre reason. So obviously we're not going to dive too deeply into the conspiracy theories because I've yet to see one that actually makes sense at even a bit of a level. But what we will talk about is the civil liberties discussion, some of which is very important, surrounding lockdowns. Now, most civil liberties sort of groups are literally saying that at the moment they support these measures, however the point is the laws need to be lifted and returned to normal when all of this is over. And some of them have worries that the governments will keep extending sort of lockdown measures much longer than Corona goes on, and that could be a very serious concern. So we're not going to sort of, negate that. I think they have a very good point with that. You know, there's lots of things where if you have emergency powers, they should only, stick around as long as the emergency. You shouldn't say, oh, I've got an emergency, so I can put the emergency powers through. Now I'm going to keep them as long around as I want. Now, regarding some of the strange conspiracy theories, that I cannot understand any way that it economically benefits anybody to have people stuck in their houses, not able to go out and use businesses, therefore not being able to pay tax, because all of these businesses collapse. I just don't get it. Even in police states they didn't operate like this, but I assume for some people it's just easier to say this is what a police state would look like rather than, what's actually going on. Now, even when you listen to interviews with a lot of cops, they say, they don't actually want to fine people and all that. And a lot of the time they're just letting people go over warning multiple times at the moment, but it's getting very frustrating for them when, for example, because you're allowed out to do exercise, they'll, be patrolling somewhere, they'll see people who are obviously not out to exercise, they're out having some sort of social gathering. As soon as they spot the police in the distance, they start then pretending they're exercising. And this is the thing, because a few people have said to me, oh, you must support a police state because you don't want, cops arresting people and all this, or I want cops arresting people, sorry, for going out and jogging. No, I don't. I think it's very important that people can go out and exercise. And as I said before, I think the biggest concern with all this is if a few idiots ruin it for everybody. People should be allowed out to do, most of the things they can do as long as they are being cautious not to spread the disease. And personally, as I've said before, I don't see any issue of somebody going on a trip somewhere in their car, and then going for a walk in a more remote place or whatever, a jog in a more remote place, because in theory, if they're less likely to infect people that way, that's a good thing. So there's that. However, some people are still saying that I support a police state because of those actions. I really personally don't know how, but there you go. But yes, personally I have no problem with people going out to exercise as long as they are only going out to exercise. Because this is the problem, a lot of people are using the excuse of they are going out to exercise or whatever, and then they are using that just to go and talk or have social gatherings with other people, where therefore there is a virus, contagion risk. So this is where, again, your civil liberties thing comes in, because under normal circumstances I'd be perfectly happy because I wanted to do it, I still want to go out and meet friends, but I don't do it because I've got respect to other people, and you don't want to spread a deadly disease. But unfortunately, you'll still get people saying, no, the laws don't apply to them, essentially. This is the really annoying bit, is when you get, and these are really the covidiot sort of people, who are saying things like, yes, but if I go out and have a party of a group of mates, it's not going to raise the infection all that much. The problem is, you're not the only person going to be doing it, are you? Lots of other people will end up doing that. If they think, oh, it's okay because I can go out and have social gatherings with people that aren't in my household, other people will do it, therefore spread the disease. So yeah, that's quite worrying, and all of this sort of stuff. So again, like I said, the main thing, the main litmus test, I guess if you want to call it that, is going to be seeing what will happen with these civil liberties once we're out of this crisis. If the governments are responsible, they'll lift them as soon as possible. We can go back to a relative normality, and things can start to go slowly back to normal, and I think it will be a slow process. What you don't want to see happening is, even once Corona is over, lots and lots of governments hanging on to the idea of stopping people going out and about doing things. So, again, it's a very tough balancing call, because the problem is there's some channels I used to like that I've lost a lot of respect for recently, just because all they keep saying is, no, I should be allowed to go out and flout a quarantine and all this, just simply because, I feel it's my civil liberty to be allowed to do it, therefore I'm going to do it. You know, there's lots of things that you're allowed to do in some aspects of the law, but it's not a good idea to do it. In some countries of freedom of speech, you can be a complete prick to other people. That doesn't mean people are going to like you if you're known as the person who's just an arsehole to everybody. Even if you can legally do it, it doesn't mean it's necessarily a good idea. So, there's all of this stuff, but the problem is I don't think people should be breaking the rules for the sake of breaking the rules because they don't agree with them, or they don't think it somehow applies to them. So yeah, I'm still suffering through them at the moment, I'm afraid, only going out for a bit of exercise every now and then or to go and get essentials. For the other parts, I'm just sat at home, trying to keep myself entertained while sat at home, like most other sensible people should be doing. Unfortunately, I'll still get abusive comments from people going, "Oh, you look like shit because you're staying inside all the time. You should be going out and partying like me." It's like, no, you're the fucking idiot there, aren't you, if you're going out and breaking the rules. And as I've said, I hope they do throw the book at people breaking the rules, because I would much rather the people who go out and break the rules get harsh penalties for it, rather than everybody has to suffer with more restrictions or this drags on for longer, because idiots don't think rules apply to them. So, there you go. I think that's my opinion on how the civil liberties of this should be balanced, but yes, I definitely want to see these go away when it's safe to do so. But the point really is that, I can understand why these rules are in place, and I also don't see how it serves the Illuminati, whatever other, group or conspiracy you want to throw into this, to have businesses closing down, not as much tax coming in, printing money to try and keep parts of the economy afloat. That just seems the opposite of a lot of conspiracies. I'd be a lot more worried in a conspiratorial way if governments were forcing people to carry on going to work even if it wasn't safe to do so for the majority of people. But we're in the opposite scenario of that, so, Right, I hope this video's found people well.